Good morning and welcome, everybody in person and those of you at home practicing. I salute everybody who shows up to practice, and I want everybody to, in this entire session, when I speak about yoga and when I speak about anything at all, just relax. In a way, it's no big deal. Because a lot of things in life are becoming big deals, and when we really look at the bigger picture, we're alive. We're breathing. We've got a roof over our head. We've got heat. The rest of it isn't any big deal. But what I want to focus on this morning, and I would invite you at any point to sit up, but if sitting up is strenuous for you, then lying down is fine. But I want to talk about the benefits of the breath, because a lot of people might find the topic boring and uninteresting. It's more important than your yoga postures. Yeah, I mean, we're not monks sitting in a cave, but the breath is the body's natural tranquilizer. And the breath is the doorway and the vehicle for prana. And prana is the aspect that actually animates us. And prana is not just coming through our breath, even though our breath is the doorway and the vehicle. We're also getting prana from food, water, air. And as I say, it's the very thing that animates us, and it's the prana that flows through our 70 plus thousand nadis. And for those of us who experience perhaps depression or anxiety, truly check in with your breathing, because a lot of times we're not breathing completely, fully, we're not exhaling, we're holding everything in the chest, and we're holding a lot of stuff in the mind. So when we bring our attention and our awareness to our breath, specifically, and this is, I don't want to get into too much, but a lot of people will say, well, don't belly breathe, diaphragmatic breathe. When we use our diaphragm to breathe, and diaphragm's a big muscle, when it pushes down, it pushes your belly out. So, this debate about diaphragmatic breathing over belly breathing, we'll just drop that for now. And I don't want you again to think this is a big deal, but a lot of us sometimes, if we're not focusing on our breath, or we're full of anxiety, worry, or fear, we're in our heads and we're breathing from our chest, our shoulders, our neck. There's lots of room here. Gwen, come on up here, love. So sometimes just taking 3 deep breaths, even if we have a big decision to make, or somebody's riding us about something, or, there's something sad going on at home or troublesome. Let's just everybody close their eyes for a moment and try to really feel your sits bones sinking into whatever you're sitting on, whether it's a chair, a cushion, the floor. Try to lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. And just breathe normally for a moment. Probably more than 2 decades ago, even general practitioners, aka doctors, were recognizing that stress was underlying most dis-ease. That's where it was beginning, where we just stopped breathing fully because something was going on, or we just took it for granted, and it is automatic. But you know what? Let's take 3 really deep breaths, inhaling through the nose if you can, and exhaling completely if you wish through the mouth. You can even make a sound if you like. And again, inhaling through the nose, sitting up tall, and deep exhaling. And again, inhaling through the nose, noticing your rib cage expand, 360 as you breathe in, exhaling fully and completely. And keeping your eyes closed, relaxing your shoulders, breathing in through your nose, filling your lungs. When we fill our lungs, we get the most amount of oxygen, which contains the prana that animates us. And we also have a more complete exchange of oxygen with carbon dioxide when we breathe in fully. Filling your lungs, feel your diaphragm expand. Exhaling, releasing carbon dioxide. One last time. Long, full, deep inhaling. And deep exhaling. Just keeping your eyes closed for a moment. Remember, it's not just the prana we're after, which is really important, that energy that we require to be creative, whether it's from an artistic aspect or a problem-solving aspect. But the breath and paying attention to the breath, and maybe this is the key to releasing anxiety, is that you bring yourself into the present moment, paying attention to your breath. Again, 20, 30 years ago, I might have thought what I was saying was hogwash and just like, the higher weird stuff of yoga. But with my years of practice and having my own stresses and just noticing the difference of sitting, whether it's in a chair, sitting up tall, whether it's in front of my altar, I notice the difference in my nervous system, because when we breathe fully and deeply, especially using the diaphragm, we stimulate the vagus nerve. And remember, the vagus nerve is intricately linked with our parasympathetic nervous system. This is our rest and digest. This is our relax. This is letting go. It's not the sympathetic, which is fight or flight, hanging on for dear life. No. Sometimes, yes, we have to be in our sympathetic. It's not bad. It's not wrong. But spending equal amounts of time, depending on your constitution, depending on your day, depending on your challenges. Even when I'm driving the car with maniacs all around me, this is something that I do. I breathe, I get oxygen into my brain, I stimulate my vagus nerve to calm myself and stay alert, present, calm. So throughout the week, even if you just spend a couple of minutes when you feel like things are moving or you're feeling things that just don't feel good, that are raising your stress levels, sit down for a moment and breathe deeply, fully, and completely. And it's like meditation. I can talk about these things till the cows come home. It's by you practicing this that you will understand the power that you can effect for yourself to alleviate stress, calm your mind, and a calm mind typically creates a calm body. And from that place, we can be more effective, more loving, more present with what is beautiful, what is good, what is positive, not just in the day, but about you, what's good about you. We don't spend enough time thinking about what we do that's good. We just do the other thing. Okay, so let's come on over onto our knees. We're going to be focusing today on knee strength, but I'll talk to you about that in a moment. So coming on to all fours for cat-cow. Cat-cow is simply still one of the best warm-ups for the spine. With your hands underneath your shoulders. Now, I have been spending time with somebody who's, well, you may know her, Cynthia Funk from the Yoga Sanctuary. She's kind of making me rethink a lot of things. Now, one thing I want to say is if your hands are under your shoulders, great. I always think this is great for alignment. However, if you widen your hands towards the edge of your mat, with your eyes closed in neutral position, do you feel more spacious in your shoulders? So you might need to bring them back under your shoulders. I don't think one is wrong and one is right, but as I say, if you spread your hands, do you feel a little more spacious in your shoulder area? You decide. The other thing is perhaps turning the hands slightly sideways while they're basically close to under your shoulders or the other. I mean, we're all different. We've all got different shoulder issues. Please find what's right for you. And if you feel that what I've been teaching you for years is the way you want to be, go for it, okay? Just want to offer you options. Now, when you're in neutral, tops of your feet are flat. On an exhale, round your spine and expand your upper back. Really feeling your shoulder blades widen as you drop your chin and your tail. And on an inhale, let's curl the toes under. Soften your heart and upper chest as you hollow out your lower back, drawing your heart center forward, lifting your head. Exhale, flatten the tops of your feet, pressing your fingers into the mat, broadening your upper back, flexing your spine, curl your toes under, soften, release the heart, shoulders away from the ears, eyes rolling up, open or close to your third eye. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, toes curled under, hollow out. Draw the heart center forward. Exhale. Dropping the head, dropping the tail. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Inhale, relax your belly, soften your hearts as you draw it forward. And last time, flatten the tops of your feet, round your spine. And inhale, curl your toes under, rounding up through the neck, the head, and coming back to neutral. Now remember, if your knees are feeling sensitive, we won't be on them too much longer, but either double your mat over or place something underneath your knees. You're going to take your left hand and place it on the back of your neck, and you're going to inhale, lift your elbow up, twisting your spine, and exhale, release, and then thread that arm underneath. But you're not going to bring your shoulder or your head down to the floor. You're just going to straighten that arm, and you're going to press your left hand on the floor. So you're just twisting the spine, and then inhale. This time, take that left arm straight up. If it works. Now, if you have shoulder issues, please be mindful, respectful. Exhale. Take it underneath one more time. Now, you have the option. You can stay here, or you can lower your shoulder and the side of your face onto the floor. But you decide. If you feel like there's too much pressure on your shoulder, please come back up. Or if you feel like there's too much pressure on the side of your head, take your hips a little bit further back and then extend your right arm straight out in front. So we have options. You can keep your shoulder, your arm off the mat, and then draw, if you did, your right arm straight back and come back into neutral. I'll turn around here, make sure everybody can see. So now you're going to take your right hand, place it on the back of your neck. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, thread it under, but don't lower too far down. Just keep that right palm flat on the floor, twisting your torso, innervating, activating the nerves in the spine, mobilizing all of the little facets, tiny facets and joints in your spinal column. And then inhale, sweep that right arm up, practicing with awareness, respect, and compassion for where you are today. Exhale, thread the needle. And again, you can stay with your right palm flat on the floor, keeping your left arm straight, or you can come all the way down with the side of your head, your shoulder. And again, if you feel too much weight on your arm that's on the floor or your head, just take your hips a little bit further back towards your heels, tippy toe the fingers, and lengthen the left arm. And breathe. And then if you did extend your left arm, draw it back, pressing up. Take your knees wide apart, big toes touch, flatten the tops of your feet, and take your hips back. Now, if bending your knees that much is too much, you can always curl your toes under and just take your hips back like this. This is nice too. If you curl your toes under, you're stretching your plantar fascia. And then if you wish, you can lower your torso down towards the floor. You can also elevate by folding your forearms one on top of the other and releasing your forehead onto them. Or you can be in your modified child's pose with the tops of your feet flat, big toes touching, and releasing the torso between your thighs. And again, if you need extra height for your forehead, you fold your forearms one on top of the other. So depending what you need, you have the options. I like to think of yoga as playful, exploratory, as long as we're curious, like a little kid who doesn't judge themselves for how they sound when they sing or what they look like when they're dancing. We need to find that inner kid, that inner child that just wants to be curious and have some fun. All right, come on up. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Curl your toes under. Pressing into your hands, we're just going to do it and curl your toes under. Hover. So feel your core engaging here, hovering with your knees just barely off the floor. Toes are curled under. Breathing. Feel your core muscles engaging. And then lift your hips up. Now, bend one knee. Relax your neck by giving your head a little gentle shaking. One leg straight, one knee bent. And change. So you feel the stretch in the back of your leg, your calf muscles. So we're going to be talking about calves, quads, hamstrings or hammies, and glutes, butt muscles. And change. And the reason we're going to talk about it is because these muscles are key to supporting and offloading some of the stress on the knee joints. And then bring your hands back towards your feet. And I like this, and keep your knees soft. Bend your knees. Have a look that your feet are parallel to one another, which means the outsides of your feet are going to be parallel to the outsides of your mat. Your knees are soft. Your belly's resting on your thighs. And you're just letting your head hang. So this is a lazy man's traction. We get a lot of compression and tightness in the lower back, typically due to poor posture. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. And then pressing the soles of your feet into the floor, letting your arms hang, keeping your chin tucked. Slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time, and let your head be the last thing to come up. And then inhale your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, roll them back, pull your armpits down, lift your toes off the floor, feel your big toe mounts, your baby toe mounts, and the center of your heel, rooting and grounding down into the floor. So your feet should be parallel, not too wide. So you're engaging your thigh muscles by lifting up on your kneecaps. Now your sternum, this is your xiphoid process, but when I say sternum, I just mean lifting up, lengthening. Let the crown of your head float up. Eyes can be opened or closed. Shoulders are back. Feel the length. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands on the front of your shins. Inhale, come halfway up. Lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bend your knees, place your hands on the floor. Let's take the left leg back and park the knee on the floor. So this is if you need a knee cushion, place it under your left knee. So your left knee is on your cushion. And from here, we're going to inhale up into cactus arms. Now, press your elbows back. Feel your shoulder blades attempting to come together. This is to counteract the forward flexion that we're usually in with our devices. And then inhale into victory, a V. Exhale once again into cactus. Bring your elbows together in front. Can you bring them right together, your arms? Take them back. And then bring your left hand inside of your right leg. And you're going to reach your right, so you're going to bring the palm right onto the floor. You're going to reach your right arm up. Reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, float it down. Now inhale, lift that back knee off the floor. Press through your heel. Bring your hands onto your front right knee. Focus your gaze. Bring your shoulders right over your hips, and then inhale, sweep up. Press through that back heel. That will be the anchor of this posture. So strength, breath, focus. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Take your right leg back. Again, walk the dog. Give your head a bit of a swing back and forth, and then walk your feet towards your hands. Now make sure your feet are about a fist width apart. Inhale, come halfway up, place your hands on your shins. Lengthen your spine, press your shoulders back. Draw your navel in. Your eyes are looking straight down at the mat. Feel your abdominal muscles engaging. Exhale, forward fold, let your heads hang. Now bend your knees. Sit back, transfer weight into the heels, coming into Utkatasana. So I mentioned that we were going to focus on strength in this session, and today it's all about knee strength. So due to arthritis, imbalances, being overweight, being sedentary, and of course aging and what we do, exhale, forward fold. Our knees can get sore and we feel like we can't do anything because our knees are sore. So we sit and we relax and our muscles start to atrophy. Take your right leg back now so that your right knee is on the mat. And then inhale, arms up into cactus. And you can see that it becomes a vicious cycle, or downward cycle, I should say, when we stop exercising because we have sore knees. That makes me, I want to get you something else. Bring your knees up into victory. Just because, oh, okay. Or this one. Yeah, that's probably making you very unsteady. Here we go. Okay. And then bring them back into cactus and take your knees back, take your elbows back. By strengthening the muscles of the quadriceps, hamstrings, calves, and glutes, we offload some of the pressure that we would otherwise put on our knees. So it's really important. And then bring your right hand down beside your left foot. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, bring your hand down. And now lifting your back knee off the floor, keeping the right knee bent, bring your hands. And if you feel like your back leg's too far back, bring it a little bit forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up, focus your gaze, maybe 8 or 9 feet in front of you. That's key. And press through the back heel. I know I say it often, but that's the anchor of the posture. If you're trying to steady yourself by leaning into your front bent knee, it won't work as well as pressing through the heel of your back foot. And then bring your legs together and give your legs a good shake out. Okay, let's come into warrior two. Now we can come into this from a variety of ways. So let's try this one because maybe this one will work better than what I normally show you. So turn sideways on your mat. You can turn sideways any way you like, whichever way lets you see me. Okay, now take your legs wide apart. Wide, wide, wide. Do you have stickies on the bottom of your socks, Gil? Oh, good. Okie dokie. Okay. All right. Turn your left foot 90 degrees forward. Turn your right foot about 60 degrees forward, and be sure you have a line from your front heel through the arch of your back foot. So left foot is 90 degrees, 90, 90, 90. The back foot's about 60, and your legs are both straight at this point. So turn your back foot in a bit, and make sure the heel of your front foot is creating a straight line through the arch of your back foot. Look down and have a look. Okay, now, keep your torso straight up. Your back leg, your right leg is going to stay straight. Your front left leg's going to bend, but your torso's not going with it. Keep your torso straight up and down. When you look down at your foot, your knee is tracking over your middle toes, and you can see your big toe inside your knee, right? Okay, and then, just because you want more, I want you to think about drawing up from your arches to strengthen and tighten your inner thigh adductor muscles. While you're lifting your arches, inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, lower your shoulders, energy through your fingers, strengthening your quadriceps, your hamstrings, and your glutes. These are the muscles, the skeletal muscles. Most of our body is skeletal muscle. We have smooth muscle, that's inside the arteries, cardiac, heart muscle. But your skeletal muscle is how you protect your joints. And of course, we know about the metabolism of muscles, but I'll tell you a couple more interesting things. And lower your back arm, down your back leg. Keep your torso where it is. Reach that front arm straight up. Coming into exalted, peaceful warriors. Now, really let that energy soar up through your arm, through your fingers. Your back leg is still very straight. Keep that back leg straight. Keep pressing into the outside of your back foot. Okay, as I said, I want to focus on strengthening our skeletal muscles in order to protect our precious joints and offload some of the weight bearing and the stress when we have stronger muscles. If we don't have any muscles, all the weight's on the joints. Make sense? Coming back into Warrior Two. So your feet and legs haven't moved. They are like steel. Your front knee is bent. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Straighten your back leg. Now bring your forearm onto your front knee. Your left forearm comes onto your front thigh. You're going to take your back arm and windmill it around the front of your body, over your ear. Your top palm faces down. Your bottom palm, the arm bent on your thigh, faces up. And there's a line of energy soaring right out through your fingertips, starting from the outside of your back foot. Parsvottanasana. Be aware of the muscles that you're using. And of course, if you can't stay in anything, as long as I'm asking, please come out of it sooner. And inhale back into Warrior Two. Exhale, lower your arms. Bring your back foot forward and let's shake it out. Did you keep breathing? Did everybody? I don't know. I don't even know if I was breathing as well as I should, although I'm yapping, so I must be breathing. Okay, so again, let's try this on the other side. So your feet need to be wide apart, about one of your leg lengths. Wide, wide, wide. If your feet aren't wide apart, you really can't achieve a warrior posture. So this time, the right foot turns forward 90 degrees. Right foot, 90 degrees. Your toes are pointing right towards the front of your mat. And then your back foot turns in about 60 degrees. So it's on an angle, and you can see the heel of your front foot creating a straight line through the arch of your back. Your back leg's going to stay straight. You're going to bend your front knee, and that knee is tracking over your middle toes, and you can see your big toe inside your knee. Michael, your back foot should be turned a little bit more forward towards me. So your back foot turned a little more forward. And then don't let your torso go forward. That's the tendency. It wants to do this or this or this. Keep your shoulders right over your hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, lower your shoulders. Draw your torso back. Like really feel your torso resisting going forward. And fix your gaze over your front fingers and lower your shoulders. And try to relax into the posture and breathe. Maybe even smile. So you're lifting up at your sternum, lowering the shoulders, lengthening through your neck, crown floating up, back of your outside foot pressing into the floor, the side of your front foot pressing into the floor. So you can lift your arches and then lower your back arm down your back leg, Reach that top arm up, soaring high. Stretching. So stretching the lungs, stretching the rib cage, the intercostal muscles that are between the ribs. This is another way that we can create more space for more oxygen and exchanging that with carbon dioxide. Coming back to warrior. And then bring your front forearm onto your front thigh. Keep your back leg straight. Keep your back leg straight. You're going to lower your forearm. You're going to take your back arm down, around, and over your ear, reaching and stretching. Top palm faces down, bottom palm faces up. Try not to let that front leg collapse into the center, the knee. Of course, we're also using some muscles that support the hip. So one of the things that muscles do, they store glycogen. Glycogen helps with the release of glucose into the blood. So it's no wonder, as if with an aging population that may have muscle weakness, this is one of the reasons why diabetes is on the rise. Losing muscle mass. And inhale, come back to warrior two, and then turn both feet sideways. So strength and muscle mass are both major indicators of healthy aging. This is why I want to focus this session on building more muscle. And you can build muscle into your 80s and 90s, kids. How about that? We got to have some good news too, right? All right, so lift your kneecaps to engage your thighs. Exhale, forward fold. Tense your fingers just below your face. Let your heads hang. Breathe. Inhaling in place. Let's exhale and bring our left hip towards our left ankle. Now, you go as far as you like here. If you want to bring yourself right down, if your knees can handle that, but this is a nice stretch for the quads that we just worked. This also stretches the inner thigh adductor muscle on the straight leg side. And then inhale. I mean, you know, if your knees are super sore, you're not going to be thinking about squats. But if they're not, please do think about squats. When you're bending over to get something out of the cupboard, if you can come into a squat, getting something out of a lower cupboard, you're coming over onto the other side. Because you've got your cupboard to help you get up, but squats are another way to truly strengthen and stretch these powerful muscles. Inhale, come up into the center, walk your feet together. Again, so they're about 1 fist width apart. So feet are about 1 fist width apart, not more. Bend your knees. We're going to do Utkatasana again. You're going to transfer your weight towards the back of your foot. Bend your knees a lot. You're going to sit as much as you can. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Now, if that's too hard on your shoulders, you can keep your arms at shoulder height. You can bring your hands into prayer. But when the arms are out in front, the weight helps to balance the weight that you have in your butt. So you can see your feet in front of your knees. You can feel your glute muscles, your thighs, your hamstrings, your quadriceps are all working. And this has a stretching effect on your calves. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees. Take a sip of water, flat out on your mats for a moment. And then we're going to do some seated postures and also supine. So whenever you need, please take a sip of water. Bring your body flat out onto your mats for a moment and allow the benefits of what you have just done to be uploaded and integrated. and an opportunity to gather your energy, your prana. So the breath is gross and physical. Prana is subtle and energizing. Remember, the breath is the doorway. It's one of the vehicles for prana. And I also want to mention, many of you already know this, the 8 limbs of yoga, which in historical times referred to as Ashtanga yoga. Today in the West, people think of Ashtanga yoga as very strenuous yoga, very active yoga, very yang yoga, and that's fine. But I want to make that distinction that pranayama is higher on the ladder than your physical postures. Prana means energy, and ayama means expansion. Bless you. So again, good, deep, full inhaling, exhaling. The other final effect of, or the importance of muscles, I should say, is that they have the effect of creating, what do they call it? Anti-inflammatory, you know what, they put age in there somewhere, but it helps to reduce inflammation throughout the major systems of the body. It got quite complicated at this point for me, and but suffice to say, I do trust the source. So the muscles store glycogen, which helps to control the amount of glucose downloaded into our bloodstream. It's anti-inflammatory when our muscles are strong, stretched, resilient, and offloads a lot of pressure when the muscles are strong off the knee joints. Bend your legs, place the soles of your feet where your knees were, bringing your heels as close to your buttocks as you can. Lift your shoulder blades up and tuck them under your heart center. Tilt your chin towards the center of your chest. Arms are beside your body with your palms facing down. Exhale, press the small of your back into the floor. And on an inhale, tilt your tailbone up, peel your spine off the mat, lifting up hips, thighs, glutes, all working together here. Good deep inhaling and exhaling. You can feel your quadriceps, fronts of your thighs activated, strengthening. Also your glute muscles, you can engage them. And your hamstrings, of course. This is the back of your thighs. And starting from the top of your vertebra, slowly releasing all the way down. The beauty of yoga, of course, is that we use our own body weight combined with gravity to create the resistance that, you could go to a gym, of course, and I'm not down on gyms, and use weights, but the reality is we don't need to go to a gym to do the work that many of the yoga postures can emulate and give you close to the same results, if not the same. Once again, now if you felt that your feet could be a little bit closer, you decide your heels should be in line with your sits bones. So if you were holding a block between your thighs, that's about how wide your knees are apart. Exhale, press the small of your back into the floor. Inhale, lifting sacrum, lower back, middle back, upper back, pressing up. Let's bring straight arms under the body. If you're able to, straighten your arms, interlock your fingers, roll your shoulder blades in towards one another. If you cannot straighten your arms, then please leave them outside of your torso with your palms facing down. Let's lift the right leg up in the air. Right leg up. Breathe. Focus on your breath. Lower that leg. Inhale, other leg up. And lower it down. One more time, pressing up into bridge, Setu Bandhasana. It probably feels easier when both feet, and it is easier when both feet are on the ground. But notice, if you're practicing at home, lifting one leg at a time, and then release your hands and slowly rolling all the way down. Draw your knees up into your chest, one hand on each knee. Do a little rocking on your sacrum. Letting out any kind of stress or tension when you exhale. And now, can you take either the outside of your insteps or the inside of your insteps with your hands? Your knees are bent. You're taking hold of your insteps. If you have a belt, a strap, you may wish to use it if your legs are really long or your arms are short, or you can take your peace fingers, that's your pointer and your middle finger, and you can grab your big toes. We're coming into happy baby here. Inhaling, keep the knees bent. They're just outside of your rib cage. Your ankles are coming over top of your knees, and you're pulling down. Breathing. So this has a stretching, releasing of tension and tightness on the hamstrings, minor stretching for the calves, but we're going to stretch the calves a little bit more coming up in a moment. So it's the calves, quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes. These are the skeletal muscles that play an important role in taking stress, offloading pressure off the knee joint. And by developing the muscles, we increase metabolism, we settle down the release of glucose into the bloodstream, and it also has an anti-inflammatory effect on your major systems. Okay, next up, release your feet and place the soles of your feet on the floor. Now, if you have a strap or a belt or something, this is where you might want it. What we're going to do is take hold, if you can, or you don't have a strap, you're going to take hold of the left big toe. If you have a strap, you're going to reach it over the ball of the foot or the arch. We don't have to get that particular. And you're going to straighten your left leg. So some of you may be able to do this without a strap. There's no prize, doesn't matter. Whatever you can do is exactly what your body needs today. You're not going to do too much, and please don't do too little. Will you straighten the right leg? Supta Padang Gustasana. So this is our supine, one leg straightened, and you can feel this. You should be able to feel this in your hamstring. And by flexing your foot a little more, you'll feel it in your calf muscles. So the leg is straight up, and then we're going to take it, the left leg, over to the left side. You may want to extend your right arm out to the right side. Try to keep the opposite buttock on the mat so you're not rolling over onto your hip, but this just offers a little bit of different extra stretching to the muscles we were working. And there are myriad benefits to all of this in terms of our posture, releasing tightness in the back of the leg. And then bring that left leg straight back, bend the knee, bring it into your chest, draw the other knee up, a little rocking from side to side. Then keeping your left leg bent with the foot on the floor, let's use the strap, or if you don't need it, peace fingers around your big toe. Extend and straighten the right leg, whatever amount you can. And then extend and straighten your left leg. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Your right shoulder may be off the mat, but your right shoulder blade should stay on the mat. And then taking the right leg over to the right side, always slowly, consciously. You might extend your left arm out to the left side. Breathing, filling your lungs, exhaling carbon dioxide and other waste, and inhaling. Bring that leg back to the center and release. Bend that knee, bring the other knee up into the chest. Knees and thighs are glued together. Center yourself on your mat. Press the small of your back into the mat. Perhaps tilt your chin towards the center of your chest and really engage your core here. In fact, I want you to be aware of your core muscles. Inhaling in place, exhale, both knees to the left, slowly with control so that you're actually using your core muscles. And perhaps turn your head to the opposite side. Inhaling, come back to center. Press the small of your back into the floor. Engage your abdominal muscles. Exhale, lowering both knees to the other side, turning your head to the opposite side. Inhale, come back to the center. Extend the left leg down in front. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right bent knee and take it over to the left side. So you're twisting, and turn your head to the opposite side. So feel the stretch through the hip area. We worked those today, even though we were focusing on the knees. We can't really isolate one part of the body. Your whole body is engaged, even though the focus was on strengthening the muscles that protect and support knee health. Breathe into the part of the body that's feeling the tension, the tightness. Inhale, come back to the center, draw the right knee in, bring the left knee up, extend the right leg down in front, and take your right hand to the outside of your left knee, draw it across your body. And again, you're maintaining a little bit of pressure and drawing your awareness into your left hip, glute muscles. You know, and if these haven't been worked in a few weeks, you may notice a little more tightness, but that's just normal. But the body has a memory, and eventually you get back to where you left off, like a novel that you've been reading and you can't remember what happened the last few pages, but something's triggered and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. Inhale, come back to the center, and it's time for Shavasana. If you need to put any clothing on, please do so to be comfortable. You can lift your legs up and drop them uncontrollably on the mat, or just bang out the backs of the knees. Lift your butt up, drop it. Lift your upper back, drop arms, and then turn your palms up in the open and in receiving position, and just gently roll your head from side to side. And close your eyes. Let your eyeballs sink into their sockets. Let your body be soft and heavy. Please feel good about your efforts today. Separating the biting surfaces of the teeth. Relax the jaw. Knowing how to calm our minds and our bodies might be our greatest superpower in these times and at any time. But this is the time we're living in. Staying centered, using the breath to reconnect with our gratitude, our faith, our hope, and our joy. Our energy doesn't just affect us. It's affecting others. And there are many amongst us who believe that our energy can affect the changes we want to see in the world. And a quote from Rumi, many of you would know of this person, a great Sufi poet. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a sadness, some momentary awareness of an unexpected visitor. Welcome them all. Treat each with honor, the dark thought, the shame, the malice. Invite them in. Each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And I think one of the first books I ever picked up that had anything to do with spirituality was Grist for the Mill, Ram Dass. And if we can look at all of our challenges and see them as opportunities to look within, to look a little deeper, to breathe and trust, somehow the struggle, the hardships, the disappointments, whatever we want to label them, they're opportunities for us to be more than we already are and to have compassion for ourselves and others who may be experiencing difficulties. This is what it means to be human, and we're all human. Inhaling the life force long, full, and deep, exhaling. Inhale, stretch your arms over behind your heads, reach and stretch, point feet far, flex and point, and drop your arms down by your sides. Take a moment to roll over onto your side using your top arm as a pillow, bending your knees to protect your lower back. Apply your little Buddha smile. And then push yourselves up with your top hand. If you want to place your cushion underneath your buttocks for a moment. And we'll close our practice by chanting Om just once together. Inhaling in place. Om Shanti, peace and namaste. Salutations.